Hello, and thank you for coming to my presentation. My name is Hunter Lloyd, and this is for Dr. DeTore for Humanities, Contemporary Humanities 312. This is the social this is social conformity with group theory in the short stories The Things They Carry by Tim O'Brien and The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. A brief summary of the work is that I used Irving Janis's groupthink theory to explain and understand the social conformity displayed both in The Things They Carried and The Lottery. I would be using literary approach of sociology, with my main theorist being Irving Janis. And my thesis is groupthink theory and its symptoms will explain and understand social conformity, with my main points being the use of community traditions and the use of other members to help reinforce the ideas of the group. My first point is that humans need to be a part of a community and will go so far to be members to forfeit their own morality and rationality. This is shown in Tim O'Brien's Things They Carried, when Sanders finds a 15-year-old corpse in a ditch rotting, and Sanders comes up and holds his wrist and cuts off his thumb and gifting it to another soldier, Sanders saying to Dobbins that there's definitely a morale here. Dobbins, after some time of thinking, replied that there is no morale here, and Sanders said basically exactly. And Sanders has fed into the community so much that he hates the enemies, which is the Vietnam, since they're in the Vietnam War. So much so to commit war crimes and war atrocities against corpses and civilians. The second point is tradition can be pushed so that people will self-censorship, creating a false sense of unanimity. This is again in Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carried. They shared the weight of the memory. They took up what others could no longer bear. They often carried each other, the wounded or weak. They carried infections. They carried their own lives, and the pressures were enormous. The soldiers that were in the things they carried, the tradition was to carry their own weight, both physically and mentally. When soldiers, the physical weight the soldiers complained about, but you rarely heard them complain to others about the mental toll or the moral toll, and created a self-censorship to where the soldiers would break down on their own and then slowly rebuild themselves to become soldiers again. The third point is reinforcing the group's ideas via direct pressure and stereotypes. This is demonstrated best by Old Man Warner saying, "Crazy pack of fools," when Mr. Adams told him that the town up north is going to stop the tradition of the lottery. And basically, Old Man Warner denounces, and he says, "Crazy pack of fools," when Mr. Adams told him that the town up north is going to stop the tradition of the lottery. And basically, Old Man Warner denounces, and he says, and shuns the opposing idea of not doing the lottery by also saying that there has always been a lottery and that they will eat uh, wheat and acorn stew since their crops will not grow. And even though Mr. Adams brought up the idea of not doing the tradition to Old Man Warner, when it came down to it, when Mrs. Hutchison was on the spotlight to be stoned, he still picked up rocks and failed to convey what he really wanted when it came down to it. And Old Man Warner put in more direct pressure into Mrs. Hutchison's son, giving him rocks and telling him to throw at his mother to further reinforce the tradition onto both the child for the future as well as the importance for the community. In conclusion, groupthink theories helps us understand social conformity. Even with two stories that have very different settings, it still uses the same rules. And I believe that it all fits into both authors' messages. Tim O'Brien's message being that the moral burdens of war are not as glorified and can really take a toll on a person. And Shirley Jackson's message of removing the black sheep out of the picture isn't the best way to approach a problem. And the entire moral of this presentation is if it feels wrong and it's safe to speak up, do so, or remove yourself from the situation entirely, and that may save your life one day. Thank you.